Disability. Imagine you're about to run a race. On your lane, you will have no shoes, lots of hills, mud, puddles, and no support from the crowd. Your component, on the other hand, has a perfect track with no obstacles, the appropriate shoes, and all the equipment you need. When you ask why you didn't get the same treatment, you're told that that's just the way it is in society and that these were the cards you were dealt and there's no way to adapt. This is just an example of how those living with disabilities live every single day. They are constantly dealing with obstacles, whether that's with their home life, with schools, sports facilities, and everything in between. This is also how the medical model views them. So, what is disability? Disability affects 15% of our world population. People experience physical, mental, and learning disabilities. Since people experience disability differently, individuals' needs are often not met. The definition of disability, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, defines it as any condition of the body or mind, an impairment, that makes it more difficult for the person with the condition to do certain activities. So they will experience activity limitation and interaction with the world around them. But why does their disability have to limit them from activities? Why can't activities become more accessible and we become more flexible? So let's change the way we view disability. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention also have a definition called disability inclusion, where inclusion means understanding the relationship between the way people function and how they participate in society, making sure everybody has the same opportunities to participate in every aspect of life to the best of their abilities and desires. This is how disability should be viewed in society, not as an impairment or something that holds the individual back, but rather than just who they are. Changing the definition and the outlook of disability. We should not be viewing people as with their disabilities for what they can't do, but looking at what they can do. So moving away from that medical model and going more towards the social model. To help change the definition, we must be mindful of all individuals and all of their needs and situations that occur in their daily lives, specifically looking at public places. Society is based around just one type of individual and their needs, and many public facilities are not equipped to all populations of people and often do not consider anybody else. Moving forward for changing how people with disabilities are viewed, and more importantly, looking at the accessibility in facilities, we must look at what these individuals can do rather than what they can't do. We must also consider the facilities and the public spaces and how truly they accessibly are to any disability. Facilities are equipped to one population, and especially in the older buildings. Those living with disabilities are faced with numerous challenges and obstacles in their daily lives, and facilities are often lacking the same experience for those individuals with disabilities. So, what makes a facility truly accessible for all? Even if facilities have some accessibility, there is still numerous areas that are missing. These things include appropriate wheelchair access everywhere, which includes inside and outside of the building. Visible signage, meaning that people can read these signs from afar and they are clearly displayed everywhere. Are there tactile displays available for those who may be needing it? Are there accessible ramps, elevators, and accessible seating? Meaning also that this seating is not just tucked away in the corner. And lastly, is the flooring free of bumps, spills, and clutter? Can somebody in a mobile aid move freely on their own around the building, or will they be left with lots of clutter around them? So, with lack of accessibility in public places, and especially with the sporting facilities, there are lasting effects on the individuals who may be participating in these. In the article written by Manuel, they looked at how accessibility is affected for individuals with reduced mobility, affected their sports facilities, and their motives towards it. The article, there were 24 individuals that were questioned on their desires and their abilities to engage in physical activity. Out of 24, only 2 had some sort of sporting activity available to them to engage in, while only 5 out of 24 actually participated in physical activity. So what is this telling us about society and the views of accessible sports? Why is there such a limit that is offered to those who are considered to not be able-bodied? If this was a group of just able-bodied individuals, all 24 individuals would have no problem finding a suitable sport and a facility that fits all of their needs. So what is the difference really? For my future career as a recreational therapist, it will be extremely important to be fully aware of all the accessibility in public facilities, as I'll be working with a numerous amount of individuals and different disabilities. I will need to be aware of all public facilities, what they are equipped with to my client's needs, alongside with my own recreational activities. I believe this is something that all individuals should be aware of and keep in mind when in a public facility. Accessibility to all disabilities is often lacking, and general public does not often realize it and realize what is missing.